Hey there, Joy of the World, friends and family. I am Joy, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button down below, baby. It is free as always. So let's take a dive into what is going on here. There is a nod towards needing to be creative by yourself. Now that's about self-reproduction, from self to self. It's leaving behind the old days and the old ways. Here it's portraying yourself to go along with the flock, with the group, and they're needing you to fly free in your creativity. Okay, and in this creativity, it's talking about stroking up your magic, awakening your magician, that inner power, the inner belief inside, and the imagination, and begin there. All right, so let's see what else is going on. Oh yeah, so the header card is talking about insane cycles. Look at this. How many times are you going to do the same thing? Okay, it says how many times are you going to get run over by the train before deciding to get off the tracks? And that's this thing. You're unique, you're individual, and there's nothing against doing things with other people. But whatever we're going to find out in this spread that's here, like that's why this is different. Laying out somewhat of a spread. I don't even know the cards that are here, but they're wanting to talk. I usually talk more organically, but there's a bit of structure coming in. And this is talking about you can flow. Woo. Okay, we're working on somebody here that you can flow on your own, because there's no communication barrier, no breakdown, no whatever. All right. Well, then that would make lots of sense here, because we're standing between the line of judgment and the hanged man. All right. So it's kind of like your two eyes going out to a singular point to get a point of reference and then drawing it back into your mind. So judgment stands as the two being weighed out. It's kind of like your 2 feet versus your one body. Wanting a leg to stand on, but more than that. And so there's been this period of deep reflection going on, trying to get a forward movement. Let's see what we've got down here at the bottom. Trying to get an understanding of how to work with the winds of change in order to alter the environment that you've been in. Now that's the thing, is this environment is choice-based. Every day when you look in the mirror, you realize if you went home and spent the night with this little fella right here, this little crane, that then you go home and it doesn't have to take off its beak, but you do. And you have to take off the wig and the powder and the makeup and the whole disguise, where they don't. Okay, so that's the thing, is they're talking about you need to be in your natural environment, the one that suits you just as they are. You might, okay, choking point. You might want to be somebody that you're not, because you're seeing them from a different point of view. You're seeing them from the outside in, okay? And they see life from the inside out. They're ready for you to see your life, your magnificence from the inside out, okay? That's what we've got going on here. And let's see what the energy is flowing from the judgment to bring in the winds of change. We have the 4 of Cups working. So you could feel like your back is against a wall, like you're pinned in, but this is not a corner, friends. This is you sitting down, taking a rest, taking a smoke break, taking some time off, because you simply don't want to face what is being offered you, facing what is full steam ahead. You're sitting here looking off to the side to adjacent possibilities. It's even talking about lingering around, hoping that something will stir back up and happen for you, that maybe there's another stone you can turn over to look under, or whatever else that there is. But there's this vining quality that's repeating back in. It's coming back in. That which you've dealt with, it will pervade. That's the best to say. That's why life has swooped in and is coming in to bring you this token of appreciation, really. It's not a lure or a bait or a carrot that's trying to draw you away from these great things you have going on right here. Because these are abandoned. They're relics. They're empty. This is an overgrown lot. This isn't the place where you're wanting to cut down yourself to build a new foundation. The tree represents you, friend. It's time to move forward and to live life as a human and to watch how life provides for you. It's talking about take it from the mountain. Take it from the mountain. Stone, like ironclad word. Trust knowingness, establishment is what they're wanting to talk about. Something that will last for generations to come rather than just for a night. Okay. So across from that juxtaposed, we have the Wheel of Fortune. These are the balances of what we're looking to do. And that is really where you're wanting that winds of change to come on in, to begin to spin the wheel, to get momentum and movement back in, because this is over here with the Hanged Man. This is over here with continuing to pin yourself up, trying to get a different point of view, a different perspective, when it's letting you know clearly that these are relics, they are abandoned. There's nothing here for you, friend. Wherever you're asking about, there's nothing there. Now, what's really strange is the Hanged Man is right beside this as a clarifier. Okay, let's see what they're talking about here. Okay, hanging around the tree, hanging around. What you hanging around for? Well, they're saying you're turning your head to not even smell the roses. Okay, this is not disaster coming for you. This is life itself moving you forward from where you've been hanging and whom you've been hanging with. Some old energy that isn't your energy. That's all you need to know. Bad, good, or indifferent. That's not the point here. It's just not you. Look what you got growing all up in your hair. Because as long as you keep birds of a feather flocking together, you're not going to step out from the crowd. It's not to say anything about them, but that's stepping into yourself in the magnificence all of who you are. You're spending your time putting your eyes on other things instead of putting your eyes on yourself, putting your hands on yourself, getting into yourself. Because there's this underlying card over here of the Three of Swords, and it's beckoning you to set yourself free from the frenzy, free from the frustration, free from the frenetic, and get into the truth of who you are, the enlightenment of who you are. That is, instead of fire and energy that's dispersing, I see, outward, burning your time, burning your energy. It's one that's more of the centrifuge behind the Hanged Man. This is like what is in this cup. See the cup? This is like what's in the cup. And it's trying to draw you into the vessel that you are, this living being, these living waters. Okay, the waters in the star. Very Scorpio. I love it because Scorpio is, just a little side note here, Scorpio is really where we're entering in the new year. It's like the gateway, like a, almost like a punch hole in a piece of paper where the light comes through. It's taking us into the light. And they're talking here about setting yourself free, because there was an undergirding message talking about really being the perpetuator of your pain. Okay. And that's the thing, is addressing that this pains your soul. This is all this efforting, all this red and white magic, that type of thing. They're trying to draw you into the green of creativity, of knowing thyself, thus inviting the high heart to come down, come in, and to dwell. All right. Let's see what is going on here. Okay, so we're going to go under the Wheel of Fortune, which is you. Look at all that when it begins to spin. This is like what's in your hair. Look at man and woman. This is you here, friend. This is like what's all up in your hair. All the giftings of your own wheel. Getting into your own chart. Getting into your own groove. Getting into time with yourself. And that doesn't mean stay away from others. That means stay with yourself. Don't abandon yourself for the opinions of others. Be in yourself, okay? Because when you get out, there ain't nothing but desolation and relics. You become an empty vessel. They're saying stay in the center of who you are, a passionate being. I love it. Look at this Eight of Wands coming along. So this is face down under the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, it's like the foundation of wanting to get to what is the point of all this and what is behind the scenes going on here. But remember how this cup that's being offered here, that you're refusing to look into, this is what is in there. Okay, acknowledging that the other has been just this infernal tower. And I love the Tower card, y'all, but in this case, it's just going to continue to burn you, and it's going to be a fish out of water, and it's going to be exasperating, exhausting, expensive. Okay, you need to be in yourself, because that is what is paid for. That's why it's the Wheel of Fortune. You paid a fortune to have your wheel, friend, and now enjoy it, embrace it, utilize it. And that's what's sitting under here. Look at this Eight of Wands. So this is when you quit hanging. All right, you burning time, wasting your energy, causing all this stuff on yourself, confusion, frustration, whatever else. When here, this is the passion now inside of you, and you can see it coming from the ground on up. So let's see, there's a bit of a It's kind of a conundrum and a quandary here. It's like the Eight of Wands. It's needing energy to synergize. This is having to do with synergy, that as the lights lift and exalt, you'll see that there's much more going on than you've been able to see in the dark and the dim and in the shadows, all right? That will do away with this dissipation, this desolation. That's kind of like the remnant of, well, hell or high water, I'm going to be awesome. Hell or high water, I'm going to, and that's not actually you saying you're going to. That's you acting in this frenetic energy, thinking you have something to prove, or that's how they're talking about having been destructive to yourself. It stirs the particles up in a way that it creates combustion, which creates consumption. Because matter just changes forms when we initiate that change. The winds of change. Well, let me tell you here, friend, that the change that you're looking for isn't exactly feelings, because this is all starting to jump up as like feelings, okay, going on here. What kind of feelings do we have going on? And it's like, don't base it on that for a moment. Needing to be able to get into the state of things may look the same, but they are changing. They are changing when you get into your vehicle, into your vessel, into your wheel, into yourself, allowing this old energy, where did it go, to dissipate. This come hell or high water, I'm going to stay here and watch and see this come to fruition. This is very much a picture of this. It's not your nature, okay? It's not your nature. You are spiritual, you are divine. And this is the thing, that you're more than just gravity. You're more than just that dimension. You have all these other dimensions coming on in to join forces with you, because that's how it works. It's how it works. All right. And that's doing away with the death and dismemberment, the paying a price. Okay. Because the price you kept paying here was your life. Trying to look like a magician, trying to look like a Houdini, trying to look like somebody. You don't have to look like a nobody. You are you are you. Okay. This is you, friend, man or woman. This is you. Look, you are the work of art. You are the amazing creator, okay? You're both the creator and the creation. Intrinsic, integrity, foundation. That's what they're talking about here. You are the creation. You are the earth. You are the heavens. You are here. Okay, embrace it. And it's not needing to put you on a pedestal. That's kind of what's got you burnt up here, right? Is the little bit of message is you don't need a pedestal or a platform or a purpose. Yes, those words just came out of my mouth. Now, the thing is yes, purpose is great to have, but if life doesn't have meaning, then purpose is pointless. It is void, it is vacant, it is empty. It'll last for a minute, but it won't last throughout the lifetime. See, the tree in the mountains, they're trying to get you to leave here to get to something that is permanent, that's everlasting, that is foundational, that it might have taken more time to craft and create, but it's genuine. And you're creating more than what is in this frame. You're creating right here. You are the canvas, all right? Inside and out, you are the sculpture. This is the magician that we are looking for, not this magician. See that triangle? See this triangle? This one doesn't pen you up, hem you in, bind you, put you between worlds, put you in the desolation of Pisces. This is like screwing with your Neptune, all right? Screwing with your perspective, but it's also totally jam driving messing with your Jupiter, your expansion, your growth, your prosperity, your understanding. And that's what you were wanting to have here is clarity. Y'all, judgment isn't judginess. It's not finger pointing, gossiping, anything like that. Judgment is the clarity, the presence of mind, a sober spirit. And that doesn't mean not imbibing in things. It means being clear-minded, sober, like you about life and living here. Your life has meaning. Therefore, it has purpose. Okay, so we're talking about don't let your purpose drive your meaning. Let your meaning drive your purpose. Don't let your reality drive your truth. Let your truth drive your reality. This is your truth, friend. You are amazing. You are plenty. Scrappy enough biz. You are plenty and you are perfect exactly as you are. You picked your chart. It cost you a fortune to get here, friend. And that's the thing. Now it's time for you to enjoy the amenities of who you are. That's what you're playing with here, the amenities of who you are. That's something that could seem confounding to people of a different perspective to you. It's very clear. You know how it operates. David Blaine knows how the trick operates. All right. And this isn't a trick like to fool others. This isn't something to take advantage of others. No, it's simply an interplay and a creativity with yourself and the forces and energies of life. It choked me up because why? Y'all, these things are face up. A good portion of them, but when I'm not tuned in, I don't see them at all. They're just surfaces here. Sorry, I sound like a cartoon character. See? Let your meaning drive your purpose. My meaning is that life should be lighthearted and lovely and delightful. And so my purpose is you getting to laugh at me right now. Okay, so this is unique, and over here, the Dreamscape Tarot, I think is what it's called. This is what is sitting beside you right here. It's, again, kind of this, when these two merge and meld together, you become like a genie. Your wish is my command. This is your wishing. You don't need a wishbone. You're not having to go do things right, live things right, go all these places, wait here, ad infinitum, hoping it comes to you or whatever else they're talking about. No, live your life. Live your life abundantly, and what is you will find you, okay? What you have called for is on its way. You're not having to do servitude or sacrifice any longer. It's simply rising up. This is like, where is it? This is like when the waters and the star come together, heaven and earth come as one. See, here there's the division and the separation, right? The frenetic, the frustrating, the frenzy going on. But when you allow the star to drop down inside of you, okay, our sun is a star, by the way, but you also allow the star to drop down inside of you and the waters and the earth to rise on up, it becomes this triune power, this divine power. It's nodding back to this trinity going on here, allowing the spirit to join into this connection, to be, it's like talking about a purifier. I love that. Purifying as opposed to pacifying. Okay? Pacifying. So the thing is it's a work of power. It is in form a miracle. So as opposed to peacekeeping, it's peacemaking. And the place where you make peace, first and foremost, is with yourself. With yourself. Make peace with yourself, friend. Who you are, remember? They ain't playing the game no more. This is you. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are plenty. You are perfect. Everything has been paid for. That means we can't just sit around here. We got an action life, an earthy life, right? We've got these things to do. But now this is the power and the permission. The power and authority are in your hands. It's in your belly. Rub your belly. Make a wish. All right. So, all right. So when we clear that up, it brings in the Spirit of Pentacles. Fantastic, because what we were moving towards with the Wheel of Fortune is the Three of Pentacles. It's like the higher love. It's not just like community and that type of thing. It's unity. It's the unity. It is the oneness. It is the great one, the consciousness of all creation. That's what you're talking about touching here. That's what you've been working to for a minute, because see, now you've transposed yourself from here to here. That's the change you're actually wanting, friends, is the environment that you've been in, the winds of change. Not more stuff stirring up around you, because who you are, remember, is plenty and enough. There's nothing that you're seeking. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? Get with yourself. Get with yourself, get with your energy, get in there and have a good time. Give yourself permission to be amazing, to be plenty, to be perfectly you, and to be at peace with who you are. No longer having to keep the peace. This is what peacekeeping looks like, okay? This is what peacemaking looks like. This takes way less effort than this. This is perpetual and unending. This is perpetual and everlasting. Okay, this has its own energy and it carries itself. All right. This does not. It requires you meddling, fiddling, input, and I can't help but keep seeing the card under it when I pick it up. Look at all that. All those faces, more than spinning plates, you're spinning the wheel. It's all jumbled up and just gross, y'all. Makes me think of like boogers. Okay. So this Spirit of Pentacles, I love it because it always shows up to me as like a Three of Pentacles. It is that triune self. This is the divine self. It's connecting all the layers. It's connecting the heavens. It's connecting the earth, and it's connecting the self and the divinity. We have the sun, the moon, the perfect completion going on there. Nothing missing. Nothing lost. Boom! Got you up in here. Let me see what is going on. Okay, over here. Let's turn this over. So what we're seeing is a bit of this. We got this going on. We have this in between. Who is this? This is Wise Fox. So it's a matter of choice of what you're entertaining, because what you are here is in the middle of a triangle. Okay? So they're saying don't think you can swing both sides of the fence. And that isn't telling you not to hang out with people. What they're saying is your life's meaning, your pleasure, your fulfillment is going to come from you. Guess who it depends on? You. Guess who's in charge of it? You. Guess who can be in that state of peace anytime? You. All right? And that's what they're wanting you to do, is make peace with how awesome you are. Because when you do, you feel comfortable in any environment. There are no limits. It takes all the limits off, and life becomes full and expansive. Remember that Jupiterian power that we're supposed to be having here? That's very much what the Hangman is about. And I love it because we're easing into Sagittarius. If you're showing up here calendarically, these readings are all timeless, but we're easing into that. And that's where you begin to, like the seed pokes its head through the soil. Scorpio started as like the gateway of where we put the seed into the soil, the seed of planning, Big Dipper season, okay, right now, because we're planning for our future. Just like I celebrate the new moon during full moon and full moon during new moon. Why? Because I can look across and I can see it. I'm preparing, okay? So here, I would say the way to be prepared is to take your blinders off. Can you see that? Maybe you weren't aware of the situation. Maybe you weren't even aware you had eyes and the ability to see. And in this case, the seeing is perceiving. Perceiving the temperature under your feet. Begin to turn on your other senses as well. So if there's one that isn't working that great for you, you have other ones. You have, all the clairs, we could say it, but we could also just talk about what we have up in our head, right? You ever heard the phrase, I see what you're saying? Okay, that's when your ears have eyes, and your eyes can have ears too, when you see the rhythm of shadows and light playing about. So the thing is you're not without. Even if things are turned around for a moment, you are not without. And the thing is you're not going to lose out by choosing you. You're not going to become some freak, some weirdo, ostracized, cast out, whatever. It's like I told somebody the other day, I said, when you're your great beautiful self, it's a young woman, well, she's about to be 13 and is afraid of winning, very capable, but holds herself back a bit, knowing that some friends can be catty about that. And I said, well, the neat thing about being your real self, and in this case, being the peacemaker, when you are true about who you really are, it'll put to quiet all that noise. Because for one, some people may fall out of her life when she does. I said, but then the ones who remain are those who have the ability to celebrate you. Those are genuine friends. Anybody else, it wasn't a friend. It might have been a sort of a connection, but that sounds more like a one-way street, okay? And that's a ministry. Now, we're here to build relationships, because when we build a relationship with ourselves, we have the ability to build the relationship with others. But hanging around here, around some old vines, which means something trying to get its height and momentum off of you, then that's costing you. And in this case, remember, we did away with all the sacrifice, the rituals, and the whatever. It's all been paid for, all right? And hopefully now they're doing a good job explaining this, because as you remember, I'm just a microphone. Okay. Let me see what else is going on. So we have the central line. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Let me do it the way that I'm seeing it. So we remember that change that we're calling in, because things seem boring. They, the passion, the fire, whatever seems to have been out. But there's also a bit of reluctance, kind of like a poverty spirit here of being afraid to spend what you have now for fear that there will be no more. Bare minimum. You're telling me that goes back to the enoughness. So you're telling me that the true shift is being at peace, making peace with yourself about who you are and what brings you fulfillment, meaning in this life, okay? So let's see what's down here. We have the Page of Wands. Take a closer look. Okay. So the thing is this has been your way of running away from this. This has served as like an excuse, a form of reasoning, trying to get purpose, to give life meaning, when they're saying your wheel's spinning backwards. And if it's spinning backwards, it's kind of like making a bunch of purchases off your bank account as opposed to a bunch of deposits. They're wanting to lead you into a life of wealth, of wholeness, of fulfillment, that it's more deposits than it is debits, okay? They're trying to bring in the fullness of your child. What you saying back there? They are. They trying to bring it in. Look, Chariot's already lined up. These two are in agreement. They're stepping in time. There's no problem going on here, and you're unified. This is the triune that you want to see when you take your blinders off. Okay? When you begin to get a feel that you don't keep turning around and looking back to what? Looking back to thinking it was a lot better over here, when really, like I told that young woman, that holding yourself back for the sake of others benefits no one. Because if it's a detriment to you, it's a detriment to all. And this doesn't mean we feed off of others. It starts and it finishes with us, with the individual, okay? So that's the thing. When you quit being beckoned back, lured back, backsliding, back turning, you don't even know, back gazing because your eyes are covered, and that doesn't protect you. Take the blinders off and see that this is what you've called in, this supportive energy. Not only did you afford this life that you have now, and the authority and power and permission to live a life that's plenty, perfect, and you, so beautiful, here is the momentum. Here is the incentive. Here is the purpose kind of coming along with the meaning that you have. I absolutely love it. And they just saying you just gonna smash it. You're gonna kill it. And I don't mean people or stuff. I mean you the bomb. You the shiz diz baby. So that's what you find when you take a closer look, is there aren't a lot like you. And it's not judging others. It's judgment. Judgment is knowing who you are and who you're not. What you like and what you don't. Sorry, y'all. That's my little port for the chemo stuff. Come to say hello. Superhero power, that you are amazing. That's what the judgment is here for. It's being able to see from the details to the big picture, and from the big picture to the details, the forest for the trees, being able to be whole-brained, whole-minded, and opening up the greater world, a world of everlasting life. Okay, so let's jump between these right here. We have the dream angel and the hanged man. So this is like the polarities of your feelings. This is kind of a bit of longing and hanging around the waters, the old emotions, tending to feelings that have been there for a long time. And there are quite a few, okay? And you carry them in your body. It's showing up as. And transformation is knocking on your door, trying to carry you to the other side. You won't even have to get wet. And not that wet is bad. I mean, you won't have to relive them in your body. The feelings of those emotions, of the things, the distortions of the past, the heartbreak, that type of thing, remember? Coming to set you free, allowing the water and the star, the fire and the water to come together right now in a Scorpio. But here, this is where they're separated out. They're wanting it to merge. They're wanting it to merge. They're wanting it to merge. Just like over here, right? One body, okay? Wanting it to merge. To be one with yourself, to get on the same page with yourself, to get in agreement with yourself. That's what they were talking about. The power and the permission and authority is in your hands. You have permission and authority to be perfect, to be practical, to be amazing, to be paid for, to be plenty. You have that. You have that. And you're awesome at it. Giving yourself permission to live life in a life of meaning. Okay? So between the hangman and the dream angel, we have the Six of Cups. This is how you came. We're ready for this. They're like, there's harmonizing of it. Okay. So there's no loss going on here. There's no loss. That's what they're saying. Nothing has to be sacrificed. No this or this, no either or. We said the and coming together, but the and will look just like this. Just like these balloons. But just as these balloons are each carrying their own little things, so are you. Okay? One day it may be this way, another day it may be that. You have the full capacity of being yourself, but don't dig your heels in and be set in your ways. That's what this is about here. The division, all right? They're wanting you to be unified in your heart and in your mind. One heart, one love. Now, we've made it all the way up to the top where the Judgment and the Hanged Man, 12 and 20. Some of you, it's 2012. Yeah. God bless America. All right. Because we're about to go into 2022. So you're closing out this cycle that began in 2012. Some of you, that might have been a distinct tear in the atmosphere, like you moved places. Maybe you changed the way you looked, your job, your marriage status, something significant they're talking about in 2012. Well, that's coming to a close now. That's coming to a close now. The work that you have put in is definitely showing, all right? Because in your heart, you've been going to the mountain. In your heart, you've been going there. So it's ready to burst forth onto the scene. So between the Hangman and Judgment, we have the Three of Pentacles. I love it, y'all. That's so funny. They're the Three of Pentacles. So in the middle is what you knew all along. You're about to inherit all that you've been dreaming of. You may not have seen any evidence whatsoever on this plane of existence. And that's why you kept doing this, feeling like this is all it is. I'm doing a good job. Am I holding my head up straight? And am I going all the way through? Not about fooling them, but thinking that this is what it took, what it required, and that's how it went. It's like, that's not how the story goes. This is what this looks like. Creative play, man or woman. This is you making the most of it in this world, and then life jumps in to join you. The symphony, the song, the animation. That life isn't just about what you put in the garden. It's when you place your garden and you put those things, what comes to join it. The bees, the butterflies, the lizards, the frogs, some of the little garter snakes, that type of stuff going on, but especially you. The one, meaning. Coming full circle. Are you ready for your life to have meaning? I am. And what it means is that you are plenty. When you're plenty and perfect, you know how to walk that out, allowing yourself, getting out of your own way, getting into yourself. I celebrate that. I celebrate you no matter where you are right now. There is a place to start, and it starts by choosing you. It starts by discovering and admitting that you have skills, you have talents, you have gifts, but you want them to have meaning in your life. Then you'll find the purpose in that, okay? Well, I love you. Talk soon. Bye.